Hey everyone, Catch 'em All Collectibles here. So this morning I had a call from an eBay rep, and I don't have like a personalized rep. I'm not that big of an account, but kind of like an eBay salesperson, just doing a little bit of outreach, trying to talk about their various marketing, um, marketing products they have. One of them being promoted listings. So I think they have a cost per click that's not based on sales. The one that I'm looking at today is you only pay for it if you sell. It's not just a cost per click. In my mind, I don't want to pay per click when it doesn't lead to a successful sale. I just don't really like the thought of that. I get that impressions are worth something, but at the end of the day, I just care about what's actually being sold. That's what puts money in my pocket. So I don't want to be paying for something that's not directly putting money in my pocket, I guess, above and beyond what I already pay on eBay fees. But anyways, I've done videos in the past on running like a sale on eBay through Markdown Manager, doing, yeah, right here, like promotions or markdown. But I've never really done a video on the promoted listings. So as you can see here, couple months ago, I guess, I added a 5% rate to a handful of my CGC slabs, and I'll go in here and I'll show you what currently has ads. You'll see 71 listings. I titled it CGC slabs. It's a lot of the lower tier, like modern promo stuff. Some various modern promos, McDonald's 25th anniversary promos, and you can see I've got a flat 5% ad rate across the board. In my mind, when I made it, a lot of these cards are 20 to 50 bucks. At 5%, $20, that's $1 I'm paying to get it sold. At 50 bucks, I'm paying $2.50 to get it sold. Feels reasonable to me if it's a card that theoretically wouldn't have otherwise sold. One thing that's interesting to me is this column here, the suggested ad rate. So generally speaking, they're suggesting that I do a 3.5% ad rate while I'm currently running like a 5%. That was interesting to me because they're just saying like, hey, you should pay us less to sell this card for you. And then randomly, like, here's a Charmander. I guess Charmander's so good that you only need to do 3.5% because he's going to sell himself, while Grookey's a tough sell. So you should pay us 9.1% to sell that. Really interesting. They must have some amount of data that they go off of to come up with this, but I have no idea how that's the rep that I spoke to this morning. They said that that's like a daily variable thing. And maybe that's across all of eBay. Maybe they go by like, I'm not going to log in tomorrow and the next day and the next day and see if these move, but supposedly they can and sometimes might. But anyways, you see that a lot of these ads I've only been running, I guess this says January 21st. I'm actually recording this on February 10th. You'll see this early next week though. So thousands of impressions in 2 or 3 weeks. That feels like a lot. I don't really have a great baseline. I probably should pay more attention to this kind of stuff, but I really don't. Click-through rates, conversion rates, it's a lot of data that they put out there for you. One thing that I do like about the promoted listings too is that, so if someone searches CGC 9 Mint Meowth V promo and they buy it through an organic search, I don't pay this 5%. I only pay the 5% if they click on the specific promoted listing. Like when you do a Google search, the top result will be an ad. Right down below it, there might be the same result, not an ad. So if you click on the one that's not the ad one, I wouldn't pay the $1. So I guess if you want to cost me an extra $1, give it to eBay. Click on the promoted listing one. But yeah, this is I just wanted to show you that I have been doing this a little bit, but I'm going to do it a little bit more across the board as kind of a test since I'm doing this video. And let me know in the comments if you've done any of these, if you've had any luck with them, if they work well for you. One thing that I fundamentally don't like the idea of it as much as just a simple markdown sale, because say we're looking at a $50 card. If I do a markdown sale for a 5 or for a 10% discount, that's going to change my price on the $50 item to $45. That's lowering my net proceeds from the sale, but it's also lowering the gross cost to the buyer by 10%. So I'm passing that entire 10% savings on to the buyer, potential buyer. And again, if nothing gets sold during that markdown, it's a free thing to run. It doesn't cost me anything. The sale expires, prices go back up, whatever. Whereas with this, it's like I'm volunteering to pay more. So on that $50 card, I can set an ad rate for 10%. The buyer's still going to pay the 50% plus any taxes and fees if they're GSP or if they have sales tax. So just from like from that aspect alone, I don't like the idea of this as much as a sale, but I have an inkling that since it's putting more money in eBay's pocket, I think it might be a more effective thing. So if I find that to be true, it'll be hard to really know like concrete whether a markdown would have been more effective or that it's hard to say, but I guess I'll try it a few times and see if I get a feel and go from there. I don't know if I'll do a complete video on the results of this, but I'll probably talk about it in future podcasts or videos. So anyways, let me start a new, actually, let me end this campaign because I don't know if I doubled up. Like I'm going to do a campaign across my whole inventory right now. I don't want to double up and then have those things get like double ad rates somehow. So I'll start a new campaign from scratch. And I did kind of navigate through. I'm doing this mostly for the first time, just so I wasn't completely stumbling and bumbling through the video. I did click through these quickly, so I have an idea of where I'm headed. Simple is best for sellers who prefer a guided experience, flexibility. The one that I feel like is best for me is the automated. Bulk is talking about a consistent inventory with low turnover rates. Automated is talking about a dynamic inventory with high turnover rates. So generally speaking, that's what I have. Most cards that I sell, it's like a one-off card that I have and sell, and then I'm replacing it with a different one. I do have multiple quantity of a lot of the different modern new promos, but that might be a couple hundred of my 1,000+ listings. So we'll create a new campaign here and we'll just call it YouTube test campaign. And I don't want to run it just in perpetuity like you can here. Let's say through February. As I've mentioned in videos before, when I do a markdown, I don't like to list hundreds of new listings and then immediately put them on sale because a lot of them are going to sell like relatively quickly out of the gate. So I'm kind of in a spot right now where I haven't done too many listings in the past few weeks. So like what was appropriately priced, what the market deemed they wanted immediately, they've already bought and paid for. My sales have kind of slowed down a little bit because I haven't added a fresh batch of listings in a while. So this is going to kind of hopefully pump them up. I do have I have 1,165 qualifying listings. And I don't necessarily like, as we scroll down, you see that the automated suggested ad rates, you can set a cap. So as we were in the past page, some of the cards were suggested 3.5%. Some of them were suggested 9%. I didn't see any for my items, but apparently eBay must be suggesting a 25% ad rate on certain items across the platform. I would never want to pay anything near that. Anything over 5 or 10% would be too much for me. 10% is already kind of high. And I have some $1,000, $10,000 items. I don't want to pay eBay $1,000 to sell a $10,000 item. So I'm going to go through and try to create a rule. So from $0 to $1,000, we're gonna add those ones in, and we're gonna do the automated suggested ad rates, and we're going to go up to 10%. And then we're going to click here to view the details, just kind of give us a little bit of a show on what some of that's going to look like. So yeah, you can see here the item, the cost, and then the suggested ad rate. What are those other? My face is blocking. So the ad fee. So the ad rate and the ad fee, you can see here like 7.5% on an $800 box is a $60 fee. So this just gives you a specific, gives you specific examples of what you're going to be paying if these cards were to sell through it. And as I said, for me, let me see if I can sort by price. So I just want to make sure that they didn't accidentally take in any $1,000 plus item. So 1,000 is the highest. If I were to pay $36 to sell this at full price, that's reasonable to me. I would have had no problem doing a 10% markdown on every item under 10,000 or under $1,000. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to launch this. I'm going to launch it and see how it goes. So yeah, we're automated. We're going to do no higher than 10% and we're just going to run it. We're going to run it and see what happens. I did have a couple of other things I wanted to touch on. Let me do one more campaign I did everything from 0 to 1,000. Let me cover everything else, which there's only 42 listings. So I'll do the same thing for that, but I don't want to pay more than 5%. I have a couple listings listed for 10 grand, which are worth a lot less than that. I guess if eBay were to sell them for the full price, I'd pay them 5%. I don't think it's going to happen, but I'd pay them an extra $500 if they were able to sell something that high. So we'll, I guess we'll look at it quick just to make sure nothing crazy is going on. But yeah, like this Champions Festival, it's a finalist. It's been listed for a long time at 10 grand. It's not worth 10 grand. So I'd be paying $500 if someone comes along and clicks buy it now. I'd be in a pretty good spot with that, all things considered. So these packs, an extra $250. That's, I mean, in a way, I paid almost that. Oh, I paid 100 to grade it, I think. I was going to say I paid almost that to PSA, but I'm just going to run this and see what happens. I'll be interested to see the split on $1,000 plus items and under $1,000 items. So we'll just launch that as well. Maybe we'll see sales start to pour in while I show you this last little bit. Hopefully that was all interesting to you, kind of interesting to me, something brand new to me. If this is received well, let me know in the comments below if you want to see more videos delving into these additional tabs that I really don't look at. It is that time of year that I've been running a lot of reports and exporting a lot of CSVs, Excel documents to do like my tax stuff, get my tax bundle off to my accountant. So I've been not investigating, but I've been browsing some of the tabs to do the tax related stuff. That eBay rep just happened to call me. So I figured I'd dive in, make a video of it. And while I've got you here, I'll show you just a couple, like while we're in the marketing tab. If you pay for a store above the starter level, there's subscriber discounts that you should know about. So let's get into that. I think I've got, okay, so here it is. So if you're a starter store, there's no additional benefits. You see up here what you pay monthly, what you get in free fixed price and auction listings. So if you're a starter store paying $5 a month, this doesn't apply to you. But if you're a basic, premium, or above, it does apply to you. I'm a premium and I'm actually really borderline. I was looking closer at this. I'm paying $720 a year, where with a basic store, it's closer to 22. That'd be like 250, 280 bucks a year. But I get 10,000 a month fixed price listings and I only have 1,100. If I were to just do a basic store, I could get the first 1,000 free, pay 100 for 100 listings. I would pay the extra 25 cents, which would be 25 bucks a month. That would bring this up to 47 versus 60. In all reality, I might pay a little less in a basic store, but in my mind, I know that I should have another 500 or so listings that would tilt the scales to the premium store. And in the coming weeks and months, I do intend to get my my listing quantity up a fair bit more. So, but this is an interesting page to just weigh out the benefits between, I mean, run the numbers. I think there are tools out there too where you can just put in how many listings you have, put in how many sales you make a month or a week, and it will do the math for you and tell you which would be the cheapest. But down here, the additional benefits is what I was getting after. So I'm a premium store. This TerraPeak sales insights tool, eBay gives you a 90-day sales history where TerraPeak gives you years and years. It's something that I've occasionally gone into, but I don't think I utilize it as much as I should. Maybe I'll do a video on that if there's enough interest, if people want to see how that all works. Um, but this is the main thing I was after for this video. Every quarter, so every 3-month period, January, February, March, April, May, June, every 3-month block through the year, being a premium store, I get a $50 discount on eBay branded shipping supplies. If you've bought much on eBay, you've probably seen them. I've probably got, I don't have one within reach, but they're just, I mean, regular cardboard boxes like you'd ship booster boxes in, like you'd ship anything in. So I'm paying $720 a year for the subscription. $50 per quarter, 50 times 4, that's a $200 kind of rebate on the $720 price. So that's a pretty substantial benefit as a percentage of like what I'm paying to them every year. Obviously, they're selling these to me at some profit. It doesn't cost them. I'm not getting them at cost or anything, but it's something that's there. So if you're paying for a basic store, take the free $100 of boxes per year. If you're paying for the premium store, take the free $200 of boxes a year. I mean, it gets pretty high up in here. Anchor and Enterprise, you're at $600 for both of them annually. So if you are interested in doing that, let's see if I can. Yeah, it's just right here. It's marketing subscriber discounts. And there will be like a coupon that it'll just be a code. You go to the eBay. Let me just go in there. I just used mine before I started. So if it shows you a code, it won't be valid because okay, already redeemed. So I was worried I was going to show off a code that people were going to try to use, but you'd have a coupon code right here that you would just copy, and then you'd go in to start shopping and you'd look at the eBay store. So the code is only valid. There's only 44 items in here, and it's only valid inside of this store, eBay shipping supplies store. Whatever you're shipping, whatever you're, if you're doing mainly graded cards, maybe just tape, maybe just the padded mailers, maybe you want some of the tissue paper if you're packing. I mean, whatever you're selling, there's stickers, all different kinds of things, but it's free. As long as you find one, if you find one that's, if it's like 55.77, you use the $50 coupon and then you have to pay the rest with a credit card or whatever. If you get the $30.22 item, you just like lose the rest of that. You don't get like reimbursed cash or anything. So I always try to like optimize. I always try to get the things, either a couple of the cheaper things that add up pretty close to 50, or just a one-off. Like for this quarter, I got a new size box I've never gotten before, the 8x8x8 that I think would work well for like booster boxes, even though I very infrequently sell them. So yeah, right here, $46.85. I used up almost my whole allowance. So that's good there. But I just wanted to pop that in at the end of this video. Hopefully just the whole point of this channel is just to have open conversation, discussions on what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, and then in an attempt to bring value. So hopefully that's a thing that is new to a couple people. Hopefully the whole thought of promoted listings is an interesting or useful idea to some people. And just so that it can potentially go both ways, like definitely let me know in the comments below if you've got any experience with the promoted listings versus the markdowns. What are your thoughts on it as a whole? I'm interested to hear. But yeah, that's all I've got for today. Later this week, I've got some really interesting videos that I'm not sure how they're going to be received. They're going to take more effort and thought from my end than normal, a little bit more preparation, just because I want to be sure that I cover everything. And I kind of we'll have to see if I end up going for it this week. If not this week, it'll probably be in a couple weeks. But I really want to talk about Pokemon as an investment and why I don't like using the word investment. So for anybody who's, I figured put this in at the very end because the diehard people stick with it till the very end. So let me know your thoughts on me doing a video talking about Pokemon as an investment, talking about why I don't like to use that word, and how I think fundamentally Pokemon is not an investment and shouldn't be treated as such. So, yeah, that's all for today. As always, I appreciate you watching, and I will catch you all later.